NIH Director Francis Collins issuing some mixed messages after garbling on CNN that parents should wear masks in their homes around unvaccinated children.
Well, Collins since backtracking on those comments, tweeting this out saying, "Let me clarify the masking message that I garbled on New Day this morning. Vaccinated parents who live in communities with high COVID transmission rates should mask when out in public indoor settings to minimize the risks to their unvaccinated kids. No need to mask at home." Our panelists are back with reaction. Jennifer Massey, Caroline Smith, Dino Scaros. Dr. Anthony Fauci also appeared on CNN to clarify those comments. Here's that. Watch.
It's very simple, Erin. He misspoke. He's a person of high integrity, and he came out with a tweet and said, "I apologize. I misspoke. I got it wrong." Parents do not need to wear masks in their own home. That is the right answer.
All right, that's the very latest statement there. But Dino, why does there continue to be this mixed messaging, especially when it comes to national news programs and this constant cleanup of the comments?
Emma, here's the problem. Too many professionals, no matter what field, are afraid to say, "I don't know. I could be wrong." And unfortunately, there are tons of doctors who are highly prestigious, having been published in peer-reviewed medical journals, who are being silenced on their views, and that's not going to give people confidence. Also, imagine that you are at the gate waiting for a plane to take off, and there's an announcement that says, "We have told our mechanics to rush the airplane inspection to make sure it's okay." We're telling them to rush it. So when people hear that the vaccine approval is being rushed, that doesn't give them any confidence. There are a lot of mixed messages. Mask, don't mask. People are getting tired of it, and there is very little medical credibility because people are afraid to say, "I don't know. I could be wrong."
Meantime, exactly what Dino is talking about, the rush, the FDA, here's a headline, aiming to give final approval to the Pfizer vaccine next month. The FDA aims to give final approval to Pfizer vaccine by early next month. There on your screen. That move from the New York Times listed is expected to kick off more vaccination mandates for hospital workers, for college students, and federal troops as well, Caroline, as we've already seen from Mayor Bill de Blasio of New York City, the first of its kind in our nation to announce you will need a vaccine passport to simply dine indoors. Caroline, your thoughts on that and getting the FDA approval by next month?
Okay, well, I know that took place in New York City, and let me just tell you, my mom and I last year, we'd actually had a trip planned to go to New York City in March of last year when everything went down, and I absolutely love that city. I love it. That would have been my second trip, and tons of tourists love the city. And I think that New York City, as well as anywhere that is mandating vaccine passports to be shown, they are ruining their economy because I may never get the opportunity to go back to that city due to this because I'm not getting vaccinated. I'm going to go and tell you I'm not getting vaccinated. And maybe someday in the future, but as of right now, it's an experimental vaccine. So, my family's not taking it. I'm not taking it.
Yeah, it is under emergency use at this point, and as we're talking about from this headline here, could get full approval within the next month or so. Jennifer, Caroline makes a great point. It could impact the tourism industry. I also think about those kids who are under the age of 12 as well, and for whatever reason, vaccine-hesitant communities, that might prevent them from visiting New York City and doing some of the typical NYC activities.
Yeah, it's definitely going to hurt New York as if it's not hurting enough after this pandemic. But 66% of Blacks and 61% of Hispanics are vaccine hesitant or don't want to get the vaccine. It's really going to hurt them the most by making these vaccine passports. And I thought that requesting voter ID was racist. So how are these vaccine passports where they're asking for your personal medical status not racist as well?
Yeah, I'll leave it on that point. Acting Boston Mayor Kim Janey, again, Boston already pushing back on what New York City is doing in regard to the vaccine passports. She just says there's a long history in this country of people needing to show their papers, whether we're talking about this from the standpoint of, as a way after, during slavery, post-slavery, as recent as what the immigration population has gone through. She pushes back on that because there will be issues, just like you talked about. There's a lot to uncover there. All right, panelists, thank you so much for being here. Jennifer Massey, Caroline Smith, Dino Scaros, thank you.